Hi, friends. It's been a while. I was gonna say a
It's-
minute, but it
it's
feels like
been-
so many,
It's
so many
been
more minutes.
like half a year, it feels
Yeah.
like, because of all this COVID stuff that
And-
has just worked havoc on us being with you folks
yeah.
on a regular basis. So it's
Yeah.
good to be back. So what are we talking about today besides returning from COVID?
Well, we're talking about a little bit of a market update, like what is going on in real estate right now. Because if your finger isn't on the pulse of it, I think you would assume something that would, I would even maybe venture a guess to say that you would be wrong. We think you're smart. You should know that. Person who's watching this, you are smart, you are gifted, you're also wrong. And we love you, and that's okay.
But that's why you need my smart
Yeah.
team.
Right, yeah. You need some smart realtors. Hopefully not some smart realtors.
Alex.
Alex, yes,
So
Alex.
if the market were
Mhm.
our chairs, we wouldn't be sitting on them.
No,
Why would that be?
well, because it's flying.
The market is hot.
Yeah.
Market is
Yeah.
hot. It's
I've,
very,
I've
very
survived a hot seat or two,
Yeah.
so.
Was that from when
Yeah.
the Board of Education got applied?
Yeah. I was thinking the hot seat as in when my father-in-law asked if I was serious when it came to proposing to his daughter and that kind of thing. Those kinds of hot seats. So I survived it, but yeah. Anyway, so I think that if you aren't watching the real estate market every day, and that's not your job, that's our job. So please, if you don't have fun watching the real estate market, just talk to us instead. It's a lot easier. You may
Just talk
think,
to us anyway.
right? Yeah. I mean, talk to John anyway. He's a lot more interesting to converse with. I get ADD and I tell good stories, but yeah, down very many rabbit trails at the same time. Anyway, so if you aren't following the real estate market every day, you would assume that while there are a lot of people out of work, there's a lot of uncertainty, just nationally, internationally. Nobody really knows what's going to happen next. What tomorrow is going to hold. How many, explosions and fires. Did you see that?
I did not see
Paris
that.
and
the-
Libya and
I saw the one, the Beirut.
yeah, and
I
Beirut.
did
There
see
were
her.
there were 5 in the course of like 24 hours,
Oh,
which is
wow.
just crazy.
Wow.
So international uncertainty, national uncertainty, lots of people out of work. That is a recipe for a stale and stagnant market, and that's exactly what we've been experiencing. No.
So, Ben, a number of things drive that.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, just last week, we have a lender who has an office within our office,
Mm-hmm.
and he was saying that appraisers are 2 and 3 weeks out.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say that in the meeting, he told me that personally. Anyway, appraisers are 2 and 3 weeks out. That's just incredible.
Yeah.
And
So what that means is that you order the appraisal and we don't get it back for like 3 weeks. Which means that instead of ordering the appraisal, getting it back in a week, and being able to purchase 2 weeks later, now all of a sudden your 2 weeks is turned into 5 weeks.
Yep. Lenders are saying don't write anything for less than a 45-day
Mhm.
closing window.
Mhm.
It could happen before that, but it's not likely.
Right.
We did have an appraisal get ordered on one of our listings today or yesterday, yesterday or today, and she expects to have that back by Tuesday.
Wow.
So,
That's incredible.
and it's a local
Yeah.
appraiser, so that helps. But that is, right now in the market, that's an anomaly. It's not happening that
Right.
fast.
So what's that an indication of?
Well, the appraisals are taking so long because there is such demand for refinancing because interest rates are so low.
Mm-hmm.
We've been hearing of interest rates being locked in for a 30-year loan at 2.75%,
Mm-hmm.
or 2 and 7/8, even 3% for 30 years. That's almost free money.
Right.
So the refi business is extremely strong. One of our lenders that we do a lot of business with said that during the day he's working on new purchase business. And at night and mornings he's working on refi business and just working unbelievable hours. He said, John, I've never been busier. And he's been in the business himself well over 20 years.
Right.
I forget how many years, but it's well over 20 years.
Yeah.
It's never been like this.
Yeah. So refi business is
It's
booming.
very strong.
But primary purchase business is also going crazy.
Well,
So,
an indication of that
Yeah.
is that we had an accepted offer the other day on one of our listings that we immediately got an addendum extending the inspection period because the inspector could not get there during the 10-day time period.
because he's so
He was beyond the 10 days
Right.
before he could even schedule an appointment. So immediately there was an addendum to extend the inspection period. So that's another indication from the purchase side of business
Mhm.
that it's just a very, very strong
Yeah.
market.
Yeah, so it must be that it's a really good time to purchase. Interest rates are low, and it's taken a little bit longer to process deals, but houses are affordable. So if it's a great time to purchase, typically people think it's either a buyer's market or it's a seller's market. So if it's a great time to purchase, it would be a buyer's market. Is that right?
That would be the conventional wisdom.
Yeah.
But with COVID, we've seen so many things change, and
Right.
it's backwards of what it has been. It's a seller's market right now.
Mm-hmm.
Interest rates are very, very good, so that makes buying attractive,
Mm-hmm.
and you can afford a lot more house than if the interest rate went up even just 1%. You can afford more house. The inventory is very, very low.
Mhm.
It's probably the lowest that I've seen in.
In a while. It's been
In a long time.
low for the last 2 years, but really, when a house gets listed, it gets sold. And the only reason a house doesn't get sold is if a buyer walks through, and I work with our buyers, John works with our sellers. So I can see when a buyer goes through and they have enough red flags and question marks hovering around in their head that they don't buy a house. So if a house has enough question marks, like rust on an appliance or water damage that hasn't been repaired, discoloring on a ceiling that could indicate water damage even though it's not active anymore, that kind of thing. When there's enough question marks, houses don't get sold. But if a house is in good condition, if it's priced appropriately, then it gets sold
Right.
very, very quickly.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's going to stay. It's going to stick around. That market is going to stick around for a little while longer. Not for the rest of the year, though.
I don't expect to see there be a flood of houses come onto the market, even the rest of the year.
So we wanted to shoot this video to say hi. We missed you.
Welcome back.
Yeah, to us and to you. Welcome back to viewing. We also typically, I would say that we like all the people who follow these videos.
Yeah.
Unless you're a realtor, and then we love you. So if you are thinking about buying, if you're thinking about selling, and you're not really sure what that looks like, if you are thinking, wow, houses look really expensive, and I know that I could only get artificial number 150,000 for my house, maybe you should have a conversation with us first before you rule yourself out from buying, because although prices are high, it would mean that the price of your house is also high.
Right.
And because interest rates are so low, your purchasing power is very high too. So thanks for tuning in to a Wednesday weekly update with John and Ben from My Smart 2 Minute Exit Realty First and Carol. Like I said, we like you, and we would love for you to just start a conversation with us. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns about your house, maybe about your neighbor's house. No, we don't want to hear about your neighbor not mowing their lawn. That's not what I'm saying. But if you have a neighbor who's thinking about moving, maybe they need to be the ones who reach out to us. We'd love to help them.
Thanks a lot, folks. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, friends. Bye now.